we go again.
Yes, bitch! Magnet! Oh!
地球の心と物質
the Predator movie, the last one on Hulu.
I never seen any Predator movie.
Bro, what?
Never, or like Alien, the new one. I heard the new one was good. What was it called?
Romulus.
Romulus.
Yo, that shit was so good too. Yo, did I tell you when I saw Alien Romulus? It was with Lucas and Chris.
Yeah.
And it was Chris's first time watching a movie at the IMAX theater in Lincoln Square.
Nice.
And
It's the biggest in the States.
in the country, yeah.
In the country, not in the
Yeah.
world.
I don't
Probably
think so.
Dubai has some crazy shit
Shit.
where like
But-
the alien actually eats you.
It's like imagine 40x. They actually had that movie in 40x, and
That's
I was
so
joking
crazy.
around. I was like, "Yo, so when the alien spits out its acid venom, it's just like you just get spritzed."
And you're just like, oh my god, it's so
like,
fun.
But Alien Romulus, like
Yeah.
in IMAX, was so beautiful because like Chris was talking about how the screen was so fucking big that there were moments where it's like he's trying to find the alien and he's sitting there like. It's like trying to keep track of everything. Like, yo, where the fuck is that fucker?
That's how I feel like when I'm high. I feel like a chicken. I feel like I'm like always looking around. Like I'm like like that, like, all nervous and shit. I'm just like, what the
Yo,
fuck?
did you see the meme of that chicken where the catcher was like, chill out chicken?
I've never seen that.
Yo, it's some chicken just standing up and he looks dumb chill. He's just like, I was like, yo, that's me as a chicken right there.
Peacock.
It's like, I would peacock, but I'm too chill right now.
I like when people turn suddenly, like when you're just walking in the sidewalk or whatever. Crazy, I can't talk, but and then you're just looking this way and somebody's like, you know what I mean? And you're just like, whoa. What the
I
fuck?
thought you meant like their facial or like personality wise, like when
No.
people are meeting up with their friends and there's like those clips of people just like on an escalator or sitting on a bench and they're just like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
No, not that.
Frankie!
I'm talking about like like sudden, and you're like, whoa, like, and then it is crazy. I wonder what it is. I'm sure they've already figured this out because we've been on this earth way too long. But why is it that we can feel someone looking at us? You know,
That I think that has to do something with like reflexes and senses. I actually
reflex man.
I actually have heard an amazing theory once,
Yeah.
where someone said something along the lines of that maybe potentially our reflexes are built off of some sort of sense of like, in the lamest way, like time travel of just like maybe our senses, our nerves, our atoms are like able to move forward into the future by a couple of seconds and come back, and that's what our reflexes are based off of like that some intuition of just like something is
Yeah.
about to happen, like
Like the gut feeling and stuff
like
like
that gut feeling, like where does that come from? Maybe we can somehow like our body can move into the future ever so slightly by a couple of seconds. I'm
I
like, that's
think-
trippy.
I think it's context clues, and I also think that if you're standing somewhere where there's a lot of people, no, because there's times where you're just standing on a random sidewalk and you're just there,
And you
and then
just
you're
like,
what
vroom,
the you look exactly
like you get that
the
spidey
direction,
sense.
yeah.
Like,
But then it's also like, what's the probability of the times you've been standing there and then you just look and nobody's there? You don't ever take into account those moments. Only the moments when you do. Make
well,
eye
I never
contact.
make mistakes, so
All right. There goes that conversation.
that's
Again.
funny as fuck.
Well, we are back on the show though.
We are back on the
Right.
fucking show.
Where we talk about what's happening on the earth
Inner
and
minds.
why it matters. Is Earth, Mind, and Matter. I still think that phrase is real fucking cool. And we didn't really. I don't know if we discussed that line in particular or if we just made it up on the spot. Like what's happening on the earth in our mind and why it matters.
We had Earth in mind,
right.
and we just like couldn't figure out a third word.
But that slogan, like that thing we
Yeah,
say
the
at the beginning,
slogan,
that
'cause,
just kind of
like-
came out, right?
'cause
Or we talked about it.
I think I kind of like came up with something along the lines of like what's happening on in the earth in our minds,
Yeah.
and then we like collaborated on like matter
Mhm.
for that, and of like that's got to be it,
Something like that, right?
because it's been a while. It's been a
It's been a
schminute.
while,
It's
yeah,
been a
honestly.
schminute.
And I feel like some podcasts don't even do that. I just know I mean, I've said this before, but there's a lot of podcasts that have outros and they always say the same thing. And I wonder if that's partnerships or if that's just how they want it
Mhm.
or whatever. But yeah, we really got no money.
No shmoney here. But funnily enough, even talking about when we first started this show and whatnot, what our third, fourth episode was fucking covering Star Wars.
Yeah.
And here we are on
On
May 4th.
Oh my god.
What?
And tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo.
Oh my god. Like, all I'm saying is, dude, it's just we have a very uncanny way of being full circle sometimes.
Honestly, bro.
I'm just saying. It's almost as if like life works that way or some shit.
Oh
you
shit.
know?
It's almost like intuition, time travel.
It's, you know, I'm just, you know, shit.
That's funny. I saved everything. No, yeah, it is Star Wars Day. Still only seeing the fourth episode. You know, I'm okay with that.
We'll get around to all of them. Don't worry.
I was telling my friend because he had gone to see the 25th anniversary of what is it? The
episode 3.
3,
Yeah.
And he had told me, he was like, "Yo, I got an extra ticket. You want to come?" I was like, "Unfortunately, I can't." But then I was thinking, and I have somebody at my job who has a tattoo on his own arm that I showed you. It's just all Star Wars.
Right.
It's his first tattoo or like second, third tattoo.
That was just the second or third one?
Yeah, and his other ones are just so minor, and this one is a full sleeve, like full like Darth Vader, the guy with the glasses from the new one, I guess.
I remember from
you know
the
what I'm
picture,
talking about?
Anakin, young Anakin.
And then just I think old guy who disappears in the robe, Obi-Wan, and then everything all on his arm, like full color.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro. And then my friend went to go watch Star Wars, and I remember I checked the theater for seats just to see. All sold out. And I was thinking, I was like, Star Wars is the best movie franchise to ever exist in the world. There's no arguing. What's better than Star Wars? What has longevity like Star Wars? Nothing.
I mean, it's like an entire galaxy worth of storytelling. Like,
it's incredible.
You know, it definitely. There have been moments and times where I've gotten a little burnt out on some Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it's like ebbs and flows with most things, and it's like sometimes not everything from Star Wars is going to be great.
Yeah,
and
I think it's inevitable.
Yeah, and it's like the Star Wars fan base can be extremely toxic.
Yeah,
but even in that same vein of the toxicity, like the passion that like fans have for Star Wars.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like the tattoo thing is crazy, and then just to go to the theaters and watch. And I think one other thing I said was people were sitting in the front row. That's insane, bro. I would never sit in the front row, but I guess that's how loyal they are to their movie.
I mean, maybe if it was Goodfellas.
100%. I'm telling you, I would miss Turnstile coming up show just to go watch this.
Shut the fuck up. Oh, get the shit. Go sell your fucking, go flip your tickets.
Scorsese's gonna be there. Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Robert De Niro's gonna be there. They're gonna fucking talk to everybody and be like, "Oh my god!" But it's gonna be the same night as Turnstile. These motherfuckers. I know anybody at a Turnstile show is not a fan of Robert De Niro. Probably are.
Boy, watch Robert De Niro star in the next Turnstile music video. Just that'd like be dope. Moshing dumb hard.
Oh shit, that'd be really dope. Shit. But yeah. So that's pretty interesting. I forgot I was gonna say some shit, but I completely forgot. Fuck.
I think fucking with May 4th, I did this fucking drawing that should.
Nice.
That I posted today.
We'll show the Parkers here as we talk about it.
Yeah, man. Because I did that for episode. That is Anakin from episode 3. He's who turns into Darth Vader and stuff, and it's like.
Way to ruin it. God damn it, bro! I did not know that. I just didn't know.
Yeah, how do you not know that?
I did. What the fuck you mean, bro? I do not know that, bro. What else?
I feel like even people who haven't seen Star Wars know that.
No, all they know is Luke. You know, that's all they know.
Boy, man,
I never knew that. Why the fuck am I watching all these fucking movies now, bro?
Boy, I knew that even before I ever saw these movies.
No way, dog. You just ruined everything for me.
Man, you need to leave. I feel like they probably say it in episode 4. It's like, your father was like a good guy, turned into Vader, this and that.
Did they? Probably they did.
Yeah. So shoot the fuck up. But I wanted to do a really iconic scene because in the third act they have like a fight on Darth Vader's like future like home planet Mustafar.
Okay.
And it's like Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting. And that's like where the classic lines come from of like, my empire, your empire. And like Obi-Wan being like, face it, Anakin, I have the high ground. Anakin's like, jumps. And Obi-Wan just like goes, yeet, and just fucking gets in midair. But it's like, I wanted to recreate that iconic scene. And I just wanted to add my little spin to it. We're just adding like all the mountains and lava just like flowering.
It looks
and, like,
dope.
All that shit.
How long did it take? Do you expect you to finish it?
I plan on being done with it like tomorrow.
Nice.
So because I don't work tomorrow, boy.
Nice. Tomorrow's Memorial
Hey!
Day, right, or something like
Nah,
that.
Cinco de Mayo.
No way. No way. That's the reason you don't work.
I mean, it's not, but I got Cinco de Mayo off.
That's crazy. You getting crazy?
Hell no.
Shit.
2 hours later.
Just fucking sloshing and trash the back.
It's murdered.
And
Mhm.
it's news day.
Yes,
is
it
news
is.
day here on the show, as we do.
Yes, it is.
Fucking last episode, we talked over about a comic, The Man Who Laughs.
Was it W?
But today's a news episode. Next episode will come back with the AMC episode
We
for an
will.
album. But today, I got some pretty cool topics for you.
Nice.
Fucking, some of them intertwine with each other. Other stuff is different.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm interested to see what you're going to think about these topics.
All right.
For the quickies, I just wanted to mention, I don't know if you saw it this morning, fucking that motherfucker Trump posted. Oh, I did send
The
you
Pope
the
thing,
Pope
right?
thing.
That shit is so funny, man.
Insanity, dude.
So
Absolute insanity.
the Pope died. They asked him about the Pope. They asked Trump about the Pope. And then he says, yeah, I'll be a good Pope. I think I would like that job. I'll be a good Pope. And then he posted the AI image of him as the Pope.
Yep.
Legend. Legend. That's the funniest thing in the whole fucking world. You know, like, I'm not a fan of what he does politically, you know, but that's the funniest thing in the whole fucking world, bro. Like, that brings a smile to everyone. Like, you know, like, he could have just deported
Said-
your whole family.
Yeah,
and
say
you're
that
just
to everyone
crying.
in Rome.
Okay, you're right. But, you know, like, he could have just deported all your family, and you're just crying. You're like, this motherfucker really ruined my. What the fuck? You know? It's Pope.
Donald Pope.
It's so the nerve he has, and who's to say, like, you know, this is how much of a legend he is, I guess, of a badass, you know, because obviously I'm joking, but I think most people, when they see iconic people do things like that, like social media, like rare things to post, they're like, oh yeah, that's the social media worker promoting it, or like, oh yeah, that's his team doing it. No, this is straight up him.
Yeah, man.
Like, this is him doing that, and that's so funny, man. Like,
It's-
he smirked himself laughing, and he don't care. Like, he don't care at all, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know, like, I don't care either. Like, that was pretty dope, you know what I mean? So, I think that's cool as shit.
I thought it was so ridiculous, and I was just like, "Yo,
No.
man, the like you said, the nerve of this guy, like, wow, like because I haven't necessarily looked at too many reactions about it, but I'm just like, I'm sure people are not happy.
Yeah.
I'm sure like religious people are not happy with that.
I think it's because he has no fear of losing an election again. So now he's able to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, but he also
Yeah.
talks about wanting a third term.
Yeah, but I mean, even if he does that, it'll be by force. It wouldn't be. You know, I was talking to someone today and saying that what I think will happen is his daughter is gonna run for president and win, or a bunch of people will just write in his name enough to really disrupt the election. But eventually, it'll be handed off to whoever wins of the two candidates, making it a second place winner rather than a first. Who knows? That's my prediction. But extending it to a third term, that seems just pretty unlikely. Just because like it'll be the first time it's ever been done. But he's breaking a lot of barriers for a lot of things. And I will say the one thing that I heard recently was him deporting that guy to I forget where. I think back to El Salvador or something. But he had basically, and I'm being very vague on this because I don't know the whole story. If I had the news topic, I would have had the whole story. But pretty lazy. And I just didn't want to read up on it. I was really just not interested in that story. But apparently he had all the requirements to be here, like document wise and stuff like
Right.
that, and work order and this and that, and he deported him. And yeah, it was wrong. And even the court said that it was incorrect of him to do, as we posted on the social media the other day. And the reason I'm saying this is that he's still probably not going to bring him back, and that's when it gets real scary to think where if there's no line there, then he's able to just deport anybody anywhere. No given reason, you know, because that one person can change everything.
Yeah.
You know, and that's pretty interesting how it's gonna work. And that just doesn't go with that. That goes with everybody, you know, all rules. Like he really is
yeah.
trying to surpass the system in itself. And it's not being anti-system, it's just trying to turn it to his system, which is a dictator. You know what I mean? And he wants to be a politically correct dictator. you know?
He is something
know?
else, man.
Yeah.
I think like the other quickie, which is another like Trump thing
Mhm.
with AI, because I I don't know. I saw that recently. Someone that like this political commentator or whatever on like TikTok or some shit.
That wasn't my thought, by the way. I heard that from somebody else. I don't want to take credit because that was really smart sounding. Not like me saying it's smart, but when they said it to me, it was very clever, you know? So I was like, yeah, I'm going to re-say it. I don't want to give credit.
Get a load of this guy. Get a load of fucking this guy.
I felt like I was like, I'm plagiarizing OD right now. I couldn't talk for like 10 minutes and then I say that and I'm like, and I was like, nah, I'm guilty. Definitely heard that shit. I got myself, dog.
But this political commentator online basically like tried to sort of like break it down and see where the tariff plan.
Just do the dance like.
But they tried to figure out where the tariff plan came from with Trump and stuff.
Yeah.
And they have a lying suspicion that Trump could potentially just use Chat GPT to like make a tariff plan.
Kind of fire.
Like
kind of fire. Kind of fire.
Because this person basically put in the numbers that like Trump put in to Chat GPT.
Yeah.
And like said like, hey, if I think I have it here, what was said exactly. The person said, what would be an easy way to calculate the tariffs that should be imposed on other countries so that the U.S. is on an even playing field when it comes to trade deficit?
Yeah. Deficit.
And they added set minimum at 10%. And basically ChatGPT spat out a tariff formula, this and that, whatever, with the minimum being 10%. And it lines up pretty closely to Trump's tariff.
Would that not be based off what's already happened? You know what I mean? Like, because ChatGPT uses things that have already happened, information from, you know, the current world and stuff. So would it not just be grabbing what's already been instilled by him to produce that answer? You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
well,
like if he had,
I see what you mean. With
just
that,
re-spitting out what's already, because technically, and of course, he probably really did ask people who are economically sound, you know, like superior to all of us, you know. So it probably does make sense to some people if it's executed the correct way. But then China said, nah, whatever Chinese nah is, they said no.
They said no.
How you say no in I'm not gonna ask.
Just went for your case again. That's crazy. That's insane.
When I say no, just mouth in no in Chinese for me, like the sound, okay?
Woo.
And watch you not do it.
I will. For that, I definitely will.
Let's give me some other shit.
Just make you say the craziest slur.
It's still for me going. Okay.
But, yeah, I think like there's not much to it because again, it's just a lying suspicion. We don't know for sure. But it, you know, considering Trump's history with using AI for stuff, it's like, you know, it's not super far off to envision that happening.
I think me and Trump are an agreement with AI.
I love those memes of people just being like your doctor's like graduated using Chat GPT. It's like good luck with your surgery and shit like that. It's like the doctor just being like, fuck. Just like Chat GPT help.
That's a crazy thing to think though. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's definitely an extreme exaggeration.
Yeah.
But it's just a funny thing for sure where it's just like I even have like overheard like certain people like in the job space, like in my job space, like talk about using Chat GPT sometimes. And I'm like,
of course.
And I'm like, is that like is this legal? Like,
I mean it's inevitable it's gonna be involved in so many things. And not to get into an AI discussion, you know, but it would be interesting to think about when it comes to like human lives, right? How far something like Chat GPT or whatever can take, you know, body surgeries, you know, like how can I say this, like different sequences of surgeries and correct itself into what's the best given like people's past medical, you know, history and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting if we can go through so many phases of, you know, unsuccessful surgeries to eventually produce a possible successful one given this specific medical history,
like running like tests internally and whatever,
and do it hypothetically, I guess, rather than we do it test it on people's lives. That'd be interesting, right? And then everybody be like, oh well, I guess AI was actually like helpful a lot, but you know, don't use it in art. You know
I
what I mean? Like,
I do think even with that, while like
you know,
that does sound like pretty
doctors would be like,
solid.
"No, bro, but what about the real nature of helping people, though?" No, I'm sorry.
I
Just
do
being
think
dick right now.
I do think that's pretty solid, but also it's like I still feel like there's like other factors that can happen,
Yeah.
that like unaccounted factors that can happen in the surgery and stuff, that
Like a sneeze.
yeah, sure, like, like on some fucking Doc Strange shit, just like like 14 million futures, you only got like the one where it can
Yeah.
work,
Yeah, I mean,
where so it's
uh-huh.
like can't like, and that's why, and this is not to say that like you're wrong or whatever the
yeah.
case is,
Listen,
but
I mean, technically, I'm not even right. This is all just hypothetical
yeah,
too.
because at the same time, like the same thing can be said about the 14 million doctors that we have, that like maybe only one of them can even do the surgery correctly. But that's the thing, like how people will
Okay.
like fly in like special
Oh yeah,
doctors
yeah.
to do a special surgery and
It's
things
true.
like that and whatever. So it's
Yeah.
like, can like AI get to that level,
I
and
think
will
so.
it?
I think so. I think the same thing with food. I think AI is eventually will like perfect all the minds of the greatest chefs and produce. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's all subjective. Like, there's no way AI can take over those things because things are so subjective. Unless you create something similar to water, which is crucial and necessary. You know what I mean? But you can make some good ass food, and some motherfuckers can be like, "Nah, that shit is trash, bro." Like, and this is really garbage ass food. You know. But I do think if you collaborate a lot of people, a lot of famous chefs' mind and history through AI,
Mm,
and then you develop a food through it, it's gonna attract so much people to eat it. And then there'll be AI restaurants with robots creating the food, you know, and it'll be like, this is made of the best chefs in the world all together. And I told you this, you know, given their permission to
right.
use it. And then it's like, is it wrong if they're giving permission when it comes to food? Is that at all similar to plagiarizing, you know, a movie, or is that the same as science being used? You know, it's like, it's so complex because there's no basis, because it
Yeah.
isn't, is it a third party, you know, compared to the human beings that are alive right now. It's so strange, man. It's gonna get really weird.
AI is getting pretty far,
Yeah.
and the other two quickies that I
Mhm.
had are about Chat GPT, because they
Mhm.
kind of linked into the Trump thing that I was
Yeah.
looking into and stuff. But that right now, Chat GPT can basically have receipts, and is gonna be able to just know and remember everything you've ever told it.
Ooh.
So it's like, that's a little weird. just and then
Yeah.
mixed with that, ChatGPT is now using people's names unprompted during like discussions,
Uh-huh.
like in ChatGPT, just throwing your name out there, even if you've never actually told it your name.
But that's just a chance of it being just there, right? That's just names. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's names. Like, how
But
much, you know? Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they're trying to guess your name.
Mhm.
If you like were to try ChatGPT, like it would probably get Frankie with a Y.
Yeah.
It's like, even if you've
Yeah.
never spoken to it, like,
Isn't that the same as like when you're not on Instagram and then you say Snapple, and then like you check your Instagram and it's like, oh shit, there's a Snapple ad. You
well,
know?
but that's where that kind of gets tied in, because
Mhm.
it's like now it's just doing a lot of data mining and just like getting
Yeah.
info from you before you've even used it.
I'm immune to that, dog.
Face ID using motherfucker.
No, what I mean though, but it's just I'm immune to it only because like I'm so exposed already. You know what I mean? Like we all are, because we just use so much technology. You know, that's crazy though. You know what I mean? Like for it to get shit. Imagine like a baby's popped out and you're about to name it, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna name you, and ChatGPT's like Isabella. You're like, but it probably could figure that out. You know, given like if you've
The
mentioned it
most
before.
fire name ever.
um, oh my
Baby
god.
face McBaby Jr.
Terrible. Baby face with baby Junior. How you follow that up with fire ass name? Fire ass name, baby face, baby
Because
Junior.
it's like the boat name thing that happened
Uh,
online, where people everyone collaborated to make a name for that boat, and they made like Bodie McBoat, some like McFace or some bullshit.
that's so funny. People are so funny. It's like the thing where it was like I uploaded my essay and then I allowed 16,000 people to edit it.
Yeah, there was like
And then I told you I was like I really thought they were gonna make a good essay.
shit is ridiculous. That's like
You can't trust people. Trolls.
it's
Fucking
like when
trolls.
Twitch played Pokemon.
Twitch play Pokemon. What do you mean?
Oh my god, dude, it was like a period of time, I think it was during the pandemic, where someone was able to integrate like their like Game Boy emulator onto Twitch,
Uh-huh.
so that people in the chat could control the
Oh,
game.
I did hear about that. How did
And
that go?
they fucking beat it, dude. They
No
fucking beat
way.
it. and like they
What
did
the
it
fuck,
multiple
man?
times, like through other Pokemon
They
games.
beat Pokemon Go
Uh,
to
uh
an extent, right? Because you
well,
can't really beat
well,
that game.
not Go. Like the Game Boy ones.
Oh,
Like they started from the first one and just started going through all the Pokemon
like
games.
video games, like the.
Yeah,
Oh my
dude.
god, that's crazy. Dog.
Yeah, dude. Everyone in the chat just spamming it. Left,
Yeah.
A, right, B, left, A, and somehow they
Wow.
fucking beat the game.
That's amazing.
That
People are pretty incredible to do stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's so dumb. That's so not helpful to anyone. Like, because at the end of it, they're like, yeah, and they're
Yeah.
like, all right, I gotta go to work.
Well, it was a pandemic, so.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough. It's still pretty dumb. We could have done
Next stream.
Ben and Jerry's.
Yo, man, come on. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like
love
that?
bro.
Come
Killed
on,
the
dude.
vibe.
That's not cool, man. But you
Surprised
know,
you didn't light a candle. You always light a candle.
I'm out.
Damn, bro. How you out of candle? You 86 candles?
I'm out of candles, dog. I gotta fucking get me some new candles. Waiting for that next Bed Bath in what the, coupons.
You know they made a Jarritos deodorant.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they
I
collaborated.
know they made Jarritos like alcohol now.
They're making everything. No, they collaborated Jarritos with Native.
What the
That's
fuck?
a deodorant. Yeah,
I can smell like tamarindo.
Yeah,
That's
no,
crazy.
actually you can't smell tamarindo unless it was sold out. But pineapple was real good.
Doubt it. Fucking doubt it.
It was very good smelling. Everything else smelled kind of crazy. I went to Target, man. That shit was crazy.
You went to Target?
Yeah, Target.
Get a load of this guy fucking calling Trump a legend, going to Target.
What's your next quickie? Oh, that was it.
That was all the cookies I got for you, my friend.
I had a shit ton of quickies. I just didn't. I just had a busy week, man. I couldn't. I'm sure it'll pop up in my head a little bit though.
But for I got two main news topics for you,
What's up?
both politic related,
Nice.
because that's just
What we do here now.
like in this regime, like that's all.
Oh, dear.
What else is there to talk about? Fucking Katy Perry.
Don't even get me started.
I was like, no, I'm not trying to start another argument on the show.
We're past that.
We're older now. But fucking one of the topics that I got for you is that I don't know if you saw this. It's about RFK again. Mans is ending the Godsend Narcan program.
No, I don't know what that is.
So the Godsend Narcan program is a program that was implemented by the U.S. Back in where is the number I had it here?
Is it that Narcan's available to everybody?
Yeah, they basically just made Narcan available to everyone. Where the numbers, at least in 2024 alone, they gave out about 282,500 kits, and they trained over about 66,000 individuals. The grant itself was about a $56 million program.
Yeah.
And that in 2024, ending in September, there was about a 24% drop in overdose deaths.
Nice.
So very good program.
Yeah.
It
you
does.
think a higher percentage of use?
So that's why that's sort of RFK's like reasoning why
Does
he's
make
doing
sense. Does make sense.
Because
To be fair.
he was like, what they were basically saying is that like a Los Angeles County Sheriff like guy was just kind of saying like, hey, like Narcan has been great for us.
You
Like
said a white guy?
Sheriff guy.
Oh,
fuck?
I'm pretty sure you said a white guy though. You think?
I don't know, man. Anyways,
Chinese LA fish.
But I'm almost entirely sure I said sheriff. I apologize.
No,
but
who
do
cares?
I really?
It's pretty funny.
I don't
Nobody
apologize.
cares. If it's white guy, you can't have to apologize. If you said Puerto Rican, you have to apologize.
Hey, I'm so sorry, bad bunny. But like they're just talking about how great the Narcan like Godsend program has been because like especially in places like LA, it's really bad over there.
Oh, dear. And not just because of that.
No,
I'm kidding.
Seriously though. And the crazy thing on top of this is that I didn't know this before getting into this story, but RFK had a fucking drug problem.
Yeah, he used heroin and stuff like that.
Yeah, like he had a bad heroin addiction. I didn't know
That's
that.
why he talks like this.
I actually had no idea about that. So it's kind of like a weird sort of like step back of like, you know, he benefited from the Godsend program.
Yeah, yeah.
And now he wants to cancel it. And he's talking a lot about how his reasoning is a little weird.
Did he use Narcan?
He never had to use Narcan, but like
so he didn't really benefit from it. No,
he benefited more so because he was at least trained in how to use Narcan and things of that nature.
Okay.
So it's
the
like
safety net of it.
the safety net.
Okay,
of it.
I guess.
So, but his reasoning to not wanting to use it is that he did say that like, yeah, it does save lives, but he's now saying that it's like to kind of fix the issue that we need. It requires deeper spiritual and societal change
Mm,
rather than relying solely on nuts and bolts medical solutions.
mm.
So it's a little weird wording.
I like RFK a lot. So like, I kind of get that. I know, you know what I mean. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know. That's a real tough situation because I know most people in general are gonna be like. And I went to a bar the other day, and I remember, like, this is a while back actually. But when I went inside, they had drug testing kits in the bathroom. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh
I
shit,
remember you telling me
And I
about
was
that.
like, and this place was everybody was so nice over there, and I was like, holy shit. So I was like, and it was so nice of them to do that, and I guess it was just in a perfect spot of like Chinatown, where it's called David's. That's what it's called. I think literally that's what it's called. And
Oh shit,
you probably
dude!
been there.
Wait,
It's in Chinatown, in the park almost.
I've
Yeah,
been there.
it's a nice bar. The
My
people there are
my
real
friend is
cool.
a bartender there.
They're real cool over there, bro. When we went there, I remember I told this is actually pretty funny. Me and Jonathan were drinking, and like he gets a little belligerent sometimes. Sorry, Jonathan. And this is a true story. We went in there, we were bar hopping, and we had stepped in because we went there before they opened, because Google said they opened at 3, but we got there at 3. Oh no, like 3:30, and they still weren't open. So we're like, oh, can we come back? They're like, yeah, come back later. We come back later. We're a little more drunk. And then we go in and we sit down and everybody's having a good time. I see on the bar website it says like tell us a story, get a free drink, right? There's photos on the walls. And then I go to the bathroom, I see the drug testing kit. They were so kind. And then I get out the bathroom and I sit down. I'm like, Jonathan, we gotta go. And he's like, why? I'm like, finish your drink. I already paid. Let's get out of here. He's like, why are we leaving? You know? And I'm like, bro, this place is too nice. As a 5-star rating on Google, like a
Yeah,
shit ton of
it's
reviews.
a great bar.
And I was like, we cannot be here. Like, I don't want to be the one to fuck this up for everybody. And I said, let's go. He was like, okay. And then we just got out of there. You know what I mean? Like, it was really like a safe haven almost. It was so beautiful in there. I'm never going back.
Yeah, that was the
Uh,
bar where after closing time I got to smoke a joint in it and shit. I
nice,
was
man.
like, damn, this is a good time right here.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. So, but back to the RFK thing. I don't know. I just think the problem with that is that people are gonna die in the process of you trying to really prove a point. Or there has to be a better way, and that's a really
Yeah,
hard thing to fix, man. It's so
'cause
hard to fix.
it feels like at least in my eyes, it's like if you want to fix the issue, why would you remove the band-aid?
Yeah.
Or it's like if that's how he wants to look at it as of like this is
Mhm.
just a band-aid, or it's like okay, so keep the band-aid on.
Yeah.
Let's work towards a bigger solution.
Mm-hmm.
But why just remove the band-aid overall? That's the confusing part for me, where it's like this program is
I wouldn't s-
proven to work.
I wouldn't say it's a band-aid. I really think there's a better analogy there because a band-aid stops like the bleeding. You know what I mean? But
Well, he's called
Yeah.
it nuts and bolts. So
well, it does kind of make sense because like nuts and bolts is more to say like it's so fragmented, I guess, right? Where it's like, okay, everybody's gonna have Narcan, right? So then anybody can do heroin everywhere, all right? And then if you overdose, you're gonna be fine anywhere you go, right? So it's like basically do heroin wherever you want, wherever you like, you're okay, you're gonna be fine, right? If someone catches you in time. And I've seen videos of people overdosing, and it's scary. And then the firefighters come or somebody has
Mhm.
Narcan, and they save them. But it's also like, yeah, but like you're so addicted, right? Are you not gonna just go do heroin again? Like, and are you just not like allowing this thing to happen? Or this is the wrong way to put it, but it is kind of like that. It's like, okay, just do it, we'll fix it. Do it, we'll fix it. Do it, we'll fix it. But it's just like you're not fixing the base of the problem.
No, of
You're not
course.
healing people. You're
Well,
just kind of like softening their future torment, which is just overdoses that eventually will lead to a death. Probability says, and
like
but again, I really have no way to really comment on what's a better way to go by doing things.
yeah, to tackle
Yeah,
that. Yeah, because I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
just I just know from personal experience from like with my job that there are programs to help people get away from
Of course,
addiction,
yeah,
and like those programs do exist, like for whatever like situation that you're in.
yeah.
And it's just the Godsend program has been one of the most successful programs
Of course it
out of
has.
a lot of these because
Yeah,
it's more nationwide than other
yeah.
of these programs are because it's state by state basis,
Mm-hmm.
federal, all that shit. Where it's like not every state focuses super heavily on addiction like
Yeah.
how other states might. So in places here like in New York, LA, whatever, like they're gonna be more focused on addiction and like trying to
Yeah.
how to fix it, but and there is a point to it's just like there needs to be a bigger solution to it.
Yeah.
But it's just I guess I'm still like on the fence of like canceling the program overall.
Yeah, no, that seems pretty crazy and insane. Like,
Like it just feels like an absolute.
I'm
It's
trying to
like,
think of an analogy so bad, but the only way I could think is like if you give all alcoholics self-driving cars, will that end DUIs and deaths of drunk driving?
I mean, I guess so, right? Because it's
Would
a
it?
self-driving car.
Yeah,
Like,
but a drunk idiot is gonna drive a different car that's not his. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need a self-driving car. I could drive this myself.
but there are
You
self-driving
know,
cars where they don't even have a
breathalyzed.
wheel.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
but of course, but I'm saying they get a different car. You know what I mean? Like, yo, Jim, let me borrow your car real quick.
Right.
And drunk Jim's gonna be like, oh, okay, fuck it, go, you got this, bro. And then they die. And like, oh well, we did what we could. We try to stop drunk driving, but the best we can do is just keep supplying, keep making their life, making alcoholism easier. You know what I mean? Like,
More accessible.
you get what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say? Like,
I do see what you're
and
saying.
I'm gonna drink more if I don't have to drive. I can go if I go to a bar and then get driven home. Well, free Ubers, and then I get the free Ubers, but someone who's sober dying, from exhaustion from work, they have to pay to go home sober. Like take the train. That's obviously not a thing that's happening, but you get what I'm trying to say.
No,
That's the
that
way I'm
basis is
thinking,
definitely still
right?
there. Of just like, yeah, like because also at the same time, I will say that like Narcan isn't just like a one and done type of thing. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like it's not like you just fucking like
It
save.
kind of is though. If you've seen it, they just inhale it, right, and they sniff
But you
it
still
and they
need to
come
do
back.
like the
Chest compressions,
CPR
yeah,
and
but
like type of thing, and like
Mhm.
it's not like a 1-2 process.
but
Like
in comparison to dying, it's pretty good to go process.
no, I mean definitely,
Yeah.
but the only reason why I mention that is
Mhm.
because like in that same vein of like say like alcoholism and drunk
Yeah, yeah.
driving, whatever, it's like not everyone can afford a self-driving car,
Yeah.
even if it was provided.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If the
But
government
like,
supplied
right,
it,
if they supplied it,
that'd
like
be
if everyone
crazy.
had a supplied self-driving car,
Yeah.
that would make it more accessible compared to like
Yeah.
Narcan, where it's like you have to be trained in how to use Narcan. You don't need to be trained in how
Yeah.
to use a self-driving car. You just fucking get in the thing.
I'm pretty sure it's pretty easy to use Narcan. You know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
it's
Yeah.
not rocket science, but you
Neither,
still do
neither
need
is
to be
driving
trained in it.
Neither is driving a car. You know what I mean?
Says the guy without a license.
I will get it soon.
We'll see about that.
But you know what I mean?
We'll see about that, folks. Stay tuned for the next episode of Earth, Mind, and Matter, where we see if Frankie gets his license.
I hope so, bro. Really. But you know what? This is also this is a conspiracy, like a conspiracy beehole, right?
Mm.
And this is like sad thing about it, but given that, politics, especially this administration, uses lives, human lives and happiness and whatever to promote their own agenda, I do think with that being cut off, there will be more deaths due to fentanyl, and that will enforce Trump's war on drugs and fentanyl and deporting people and cutting off, like, how they have he wants to work with Mexico to cut off fentanyl being shipped to here, and then this and that. And
So you think
China also, like, the deaths spike will promote
cause
these,
him to shift his
yeah,
focus
so
more on that?
that's a huge thing, because if you look at all the tariffs, the reason he's able to enforce them is the crisis that is fentanyl. And I don't know. I think Mexico said it, and also Canada. They're like, that's not a us problem. That's a you guys' problem.
Yeah.
Like, there have been Americans that have been, smuggling fentanyl into and out of Mexico and stuff like that. Not to say the cartel doesn't do it too, but yeah. But what's a quick this is something we probably look into in a bit. I think the Colombian president was talking about the legalization of cocaine, right?
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't think he was for it, or but he was like, something about legalizing it is either worse or just the same as legalizing whiskey. It's something I bring it up very vaguely because I should have looked into it more. That was something I wanted to talk about here. I will bring it back next time. But that's just food for thought for when you look it up in the future, or if you're listening to this and you're like, "Oh, I'm Colombian." Oh, bandeja paisa. But yeah, it's interesting.
Just hit the fucking the pose, just staring out the window.
But yeah, I don't know. That'd be crazy if Colombia legalized cocaine, right?
That is food for thought for sure. Because like, I don't know. I think in general, just like thinking about the accessibility of like drugs and like trying to prevent them, because it's always a slippery slope. It's just always a slippery slope. Like there's like that idea. I just thought the wording was so weird of how even for him to throw in like spirituality in there and whatever. It's like
kind of true though, man. Because it's like
what, just manifest not doing drugs.
I think I don't know. I think he's a little bit of a hippie himself. So I think what he really means is just human embracement. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Just
think
get high off life.
I don't think RFK is really that cliche Caucasian politician has his he's a really weird motherfucker. Like if you hear him talk, and I've heard him speak before, and I think he's very interesting and has valid points. And I think he is a little in the past where he's at. It's so funny. They have a Congress hearing where they asked him something like, "Did you not say something crazy like water makes you be able to hear less in the past?" And he's like, obviously regretting it. He's like, "No." And then they were like, "Did you not say?" He's like, "In your book it says it." He's like, "Do you not remember?" He's like, he's like, "Did you not?"
Reveal to me if you said this, yes or no.
And but I strongly suggest anybody that considers RFK this blend of Trump and all these other people, like I really suggest looking into him and at the very least hear him out on all whatever you're interested in what he's talking about. But yeah, I think when he got rid of red dye and like candies and food and stuff like that,
Mhm.
that's a huge thing that people have been complaining about forever. And I think there has been one state already to have gotten rid of fluoride, like Milwaukee or some shit, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, which how that'll play out and everything. But yeah, it's all like I don't know. These are things that I've been hearing around. Whether or not the validity of them is true or whatever. But he's very interesting, and I think he does really care about people's health in terms of like what they ingest, what they breathe in, and he actually cares about the environment very much.
No, yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah.
it's like you said, he's kind of like a hippie, but it's like
Mhm.
I question like the spirituality line because it's
Mhm.
like, the fuck does that mean? It's just like straight up, just what does that mean?
What do you mean, RFK?
Like we need to fix our fucking
Uh-huh.
fentanyl addiction on a spiritual societal level. Like Jaden Smith, shut the fuck up. Like, what does that mean?
I get him.
So it's like that's just what throws me off the most.
It
But
is pretty
it's
weird.
like I'm just trying to figure out how
Mhm.
like a man who like fucking went through addiction can say like, you know what, didn't really work for me, so you know what,
Yeah.
let's just like
I
it
don't
just
know,
throws
man.
me off so much. Like I
He's an
personally,
oddball.
yeah, I personally have never like grouped him so much of like say Trump and Elon or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I've always kind of just seen him as like a separate entity. Like
Yeah,
he was
and
just
and he's
RFK.
so odd. Like for me, I would have voted for him if I did vote. You
I
know what I
remember you
mean?
mentioning,
I
yeah.
definitely would have because he was. Then he joined the Trump thing, and I was like, "You're a weak, spineless bastard." You know what I mean? Like you really are just so. Like I know you want to help, but chill, dog. You know what I mean? But I mean, he didn't want to be Bernie Sanders, who's obviously never gonna be president, unfortunately. And but Bernie Sanders is a man of the people, and unfortunately, those are the ones that are cast out by the government and got done dirty by the Democratic Party. Look it
It's like,
up.
whoa,
Yeah.
you want to help people? You want to help
Get
people?
the fuck at your
Daddy,
Jewish.
chill.
Yeah, but what's it called? Yeah.
I definitely thought that was a super interesting
Yeah.
thing to bring up because it's like
Also, if you're struggling with addiction and you need help, we'll put up the stuff right here, and if you're listening to it, I guess you could put in numbers because I don't know it.
988.
And we'll say it, but hope you're okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and always, and like I said, guys, there are programs out there like
Yeah.
that can help with addiction. Like if you are
Mhm.
struggling from it, just go to your doctor's office, talk
Yeah.
to your doctor about it. I know that like a lot of people get scared about the idea about revealing things about themselves when it comes to like their health when they go to the doctors and stuff, but
Mhm.
it's like they can't help if they don't know what's going on.
Facts, bro.
So just gotta tell them.
And then I saw that show. What's it called? About OxyContin?
Yeah.
What's the show called? Do you remember?
Not off the top of my
Fuck,
head.
it's on Netflix. God damn it. But it's about OxyContin, and it's like a one season series. So good. So it captures addiction pretty well. Like I don't know what it's like to be addicted to OxyContin or heroin,
Yeah.
but it's pretty impressive how they do it in such a interesting way. I can see how it could deter a couple people. It's a pretty modern take on how you explain addiction in some
Mhm.
senses. But if you just watch the first 10 minutes or 20 minutes of the first episode, that alone tells you so much more than you ever heard about OxyContin. It's so interesting.
Wow.
So I'm telling you, like, check out the first 20 minutes of that show, which I forget the name of, but it's OxyContin Netflix show. Look it up, and it's so crazy. They give you the whole history of Purdue, if I'm not mistaken. Not Purdue, that's a chicken place.
Also university.
Pharma. What the fuck am I saying, bro? I can't. Whatever, whoever, they just got sued and like they lost the name of the company. Blah 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 blah. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Nah, I definitely think that like that's why I wanted to bring up this story, because I think you bringing up the opioid stuff last news episode made me curious of like,
Like heroin.
yeah, I was like, you know what, like I'm always talking about let's do crack, and I was just like,
How about we for real do crack this time?
and I was just searching up, hey, crack places near me, and then the story came up. I was like,
Enough for a second topic.
You know, last episode we lit a joint. This episode,
just put Narcan. Whoever reaches the first wins. That'd be crazy, though.
But the last topic I got for you is also still political related.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see what you would think about this, because it's not super in depth, because it's not necessarily like an article that I read, more so just a proposal, by a budget proposal from the White House for NASA and like space stuff and all this stuff. And it was like a big PDF file, but like thankfully someone like was able to kind of just gather like
the real base of it, like
the real
pinpoints, I guess.
Yeah, like fucking ChatGPT'd it. But fucking basically, like if I break down the numbers for you, it's about like 10 points. But human space exploration, another $647 million. Space science, take that out.
Space science. What the fuck is space science?
I don't know.
I guess all space things are scientific.
we not in space?
Everything's scientific, bro.
But space science, remove 2,265 million. Mission support, remove 1,134 million. Earth science, remove 1,161. Legacy human exploration systems, remove 879 million. Space technology, remove 531 million. International Space Station, remove 508 million. Aeronautics, remove 346 million. And Office of Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, STEM engagement, remove 143 million. So basically, they said, fuck everything, let's go to space.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm so with it. What the fuck? I'm so with it. I love the idea of going to space, man. I think that's as a people, we should be striving to go to space, because that's what humans do. We just ball out. And I'm kidding, but it's just human of us to explore.
It's crazy.
It's human of us to explore what what we don't know of yet. You know what I mean? And if motherfuckers gotta die, motherfuckers gotta die.
That's the craziest crack a few eggs. This is the craziest omelet right now. This omelet is insane.
That's so fun. Because then I think people probably will get eaten by actual aliens, you know, and they're gonna die in ways
Mickey
people
17.
They're gonna die in ways that people have never died before, man, and that sucks for them. But then when we go trip on Mars and stuff, that's gonna be fire. Probably not us. Probably like the future generations. But I'm so with it for space travel. I don't mind that at all.
It's just like, you know, I don't mind space exploration either.
Yeah.
I think the Mars trip is a bit excessive, personally. Like, just because I think you need to take baby steps. Like, we've gone to the moon. Let's
allegedly.
So let's go to the moon and actually, you know, expand
they
on
ain't
the
shit
moon.
on the moon, bro. They just fucking
There's dick on Mars too. What the fuck?
But Mars has water and had water on it.
Had.
So that's it.
That's it, though. Like, the reason why I always emphasize that I think it's better to go to the moon first before going to any other planets is because it's closer, and like that's the biggest like difference right there. Like, it takes too long to get to Mars.
How long does it take to get to Mars?
I can search up that number. I should have had that ready for you. I dead ass thought about that. I was like, I need to have that number ready.
I respect that, Albie. When you're like, you know what? My bad.
Between 7 to 10 months.
That's not that long, bro. Bro, are you kidding me? I thought you were gonna say 37 years, bro. 7 to 10 months. That's not bad, yo. So you missed a couple birthdays.
Oh. It says a one-way trip to Mars could roughly take 6 to 9 months, and then to get to the moon, I think you can do that shit within the same day.
You just Uber XL that shit.
Uber. Fucking says 3 days to get to the moon.
That's not bad, right? So you can just take 2 stops. Just stop. Maybe, and this would probably make everybody cry. Maybe we make a space, whatever it's called,
International Space Station,
and on the Mars.
But we already have one, and
but then like the pit stop to Mars would be the moon. So basically,
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? There's a pit stop there, you know what I mean?
But that's kind of what I'm like. What I would like, at least. It's like, let's start on the moon first.
So you don't think that'll mess up the moon? How would that mess up the moon?
I don't think it would mess it up too much. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking.
We just want to mess it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking rocket scientist, because they took the fucking 143 million away from STEM, so I can't learn this shit anymore.
You're just like, hold on, let me look it up real quick.
Chat GPT. But I just, in general, I've always believed in that the moon is a safer bet. It's closer.
It is.
We can establish stuff there quicker and faster than we can on Mars. And with how quickly things are ending here on our planet, we kind of need to get off sooner rather than later.
I don't know. That's an exaggeration. That's kind of crazy.
Well,
man.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not saying an our
I was
generation,
with
motherfucker.
You. No, I'm not with you.
I'm not talking about an our generation, motherfucker. All right, you talking about it's gonna be our future generations that go to Mars?
We were on a cool topic.
Boy, shut the fuck up! Get your fucking tree hating ass out of here. Go fucking burn a tree in McCarran Park, you fucking RFK loving motherfucker.
I
Fuck
see
you.
what you're doing here. We try to really, and then you try to the environment.
I'm just saying, man. Like that's like how you're always talking about how can we solve political and societal issues if we're too busy focusing on the planet? How can we get off this planet if we're not focusing on this planet?
Because we don't want to get off this planet. America's the best, bro. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
This fucking guy.
Can you imagine that was my logic for everything. No, I don't know. I mean, eventually, probably, if we're gonna space travel, we'll go to different planets, and I think planets will be new countries. I guess so, and the OGs will stay here. But it's really weird. Who knows what'll happen? And we'll be far gone by then, But I think in the now, I would just like to be able to. I don't think we're ever going to space. To be fair,
yeah. I mean,
unless we're Katy Perry.
Yeah, unless we're fucking Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
But
Elon.
But and that's unfortunate because I know a lot of fucking potheads that want to go to space so freaking bad. You know what I mean? But I do think the trip to space is probably real fucking scary, man. And I don't think you can fathom being on space. And that's crazy that we're able to go.
Yeah.
Isn't that we've seen it in movies? Probably nothing like it. And maybe in the future, I'm sure there will be a director who's been to space, like an astronaut who becomes a director. And I'm sure with stuff like Interstellar and everything, they've gotten knowledge from people this is what it's like. And maybe, but to feel, that and
that sensation of being in space, yeah.
I think you gain and probably lose a couple of things back and forth when you go there,
I have read a couple of things before from people of different astronauts of their experiences going to space for the first time.
Probably get depressed as fuck when you come back, right?
That's a huge thing that happens where it's you feel so small.
So small.
You feel minuscule. When you're up in space and you
that's
see
home.
That's home. That
right?
big ass fucking thing. And I'm
we're
just
smaller than, yeah, man. You don't matter at all, man.
That you feel so incredibly small when you go into space like that.
No, man. I would probably die. I'd probably have a heart attack and seriously, a real anxiety attack. Because then you start thinking we're eons from anything else, and and just we legitimately don't matter to nobody. As much as we matter to other people, or we're just a worm getting crushed when we walk, and we're like, fuck it. And even then less, because
we're just on a fucking floating rock in space, man.
Seriously, dog, we're so blessed.
Just on a fucking floating rock.
This is so weird, man.
Somehow on this floating rock, we are now fucking making this stupid podcast.
Talking about trees and RFK and heroin. That's us flying through space or orbiting or whatever. That stuff is crazy, man.
I actually once wrote a story that I would love to refine one day, where it was about because I was really inspired by that movie First Man.
Never seen
it. It's made by Damien Chazelle. It's got Ryan Gosling in it, and Damien Chazelle's the guy who did Whiplash, La La Land, stuff like that. He made a space movie, and fucking it's just about not Buzz Aldrin, but the guy with Buzz Aldrin who went to the moon for the first time.
The one we don't care about.
Essentially.
The one we don't claim.
Essentially.
That motherfucker.
And so the movie was about him, and it was a phenomenal movie. I don't think it was Damien Chazelle's best work, but in terms of a non-musical, I think it's one of his better non-musical movies. But there was a lot in that movie where it's just the landing onto the moon was so well shot, where you just really feel like you're fucking there, and it's just that's such an insane feeling to think about. And
when your foot is right.
And like
Wow.
even if Interstellar,
I never seen it. Don't spoil it. Never seen Interstellar.
okay, well this isn't a spoiler. This isn't a spoiler because they
Okay.
literally mention it within the first 20 minutes of the movie once
Okay.
the plot starts rolling, and it's a scientific fact where Interstellar is actually credited for basically like nailing what a black hole
Yeah,
looks like.
that's what I've heard a lot. Their research was so well done. Hasn't nobody's seen a black hole though, right?
We have an image of it,
But
and
nobody's seen it, right? In person?
not in person.
You
We just
can't.
have it.
There's no way you can see a black hole in
It's
person.
so far. I mean, we
right?
can, but it's so far out that
Yeah.
like we don't have the
Yeah.
tech to get anyone
a
out there.
black hole, that's when like everything time bends and stuff like that, right? So weird, man. I remember, but I do remember when they grabbed the sound of a black hole, and I remember everybody who smokes weed, bro, this is crazy.
It is crazy, and I know, and I remember we even had this exact same conversation before on the show because it is crazy, motherfucker. A black hole, something
It's a
in
little
space
crazy.
where
It's a little
space
crazy.
where no sound can be made in space, and somehow this fucking thing can just make sound. Where's the sound coming from?
I love it because I know if someone listening to this high right now, after you just said, they're just like, yo, it's dead ass right, bro. That's fucking crazy. Like, we're really in a place where we're aligned with time, but time, it doesn't even fucking like for it to bend. That's yo. I know.
Yo, man, you got a bad stereotype of stoners, my friend. Because
I was
because-
one for like fucking
because
10 years,
because
bro.
you're a bad stoner.
I'm not. I know exactly. Some motherfucker out there is listening to you. He's like, oh fuck.
I need my. Where's my bowl? Where's my bowl?
I'm a bad stoner.
I'm
man.
getting existential.
No, I'm kidding. It is pretty cool. But it's also but it is very funny to me because I do know for me I would be thinking the same shit, bro. High as hell, like, you know. And it's interesting to the people who don't. I come at the people who smoke because it's funny to align those two things because it's so cliche. But no, bro, that's me half my fucking life. just fucking like seeing a fucking plane, like, yo, they're sitting down in the air. You know what I mean? You know, going so fast. I don't know, some stupid shit.
I definitely thought that like just the whole idea of just being in space like gets closer and closer.
Yeah, yeah.
And like
We're so close to it ourselves. But the people, you seen the video of the guy? He's like, I can't believe somebody's born in 2025. My brother, you missed everything. You missed the whole plot. Dumb baby. You haven't seen it?
No.
That shit is so-
That's like starting like the part 2 of a movie without watching the first part. You're like, I guess I just gotta catch along with whatever's happening.
It's such a funny video, man, and it gets motivational. It's like I gotta show you. It's so fucking funny, man. Let's pause the episode. Let me show you. I can't, but look it up. Let's pause. We have like 10 minutes left, 6 minutes left. Just pause it and then we'll watch the video.
Imagine being born in 2025. My brother, you missed everything, bro. You missed the whole storyline, fam. Like, you missed everything. Fucking dumb baby. Like, imagine signing document 03/06 2025. Fucking dumb baby.
It's so funny, dog. Fucking dumb baby.
Fucking dumb baby.
Imagine signing the line 3/6/2025. Fucking dumb baby.
Honestly, though, you fucking dumb
Them
baby.
Dumb ass babies being
Yo,
born.
I
right
hope you're not watching this, you dumb fucking
Dumb
baby,
ass
because you're gonna
baby.
get fucking dumber.
Fucking dumb. All right, let's slapstick back at 1, 2, 3. We'll figure that out. We just watched the video. That shit was funny as hell. I'm sure you have to or listen to it if it's edited in.
If you
Yeah.
haven't, get good.
Get good, bro. Get good. But yeah, fucking space and shit, dog, and heroin.
Nah, I definitely.
Mhm.
I've always talked about how I want to go to space, and I actually wrote a story that I've always wanted to refine. That like I wrote a story about similar to First Man of like someone going up into space
Mhm.
because that guy in First Man he was also a family man and whatever. He had a wife and a daughter,
Mhm.
and they really didn't want him to go, and because they thought he was gonna die.
Yeah.
And I wrote my story about a guy who's like has to go on this spaceship to go out to like try to colonize a new planet, and he's like the only one equipped to do it. But it's been a while for him. He's been out of the game, whatever. Like hasn't done any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But he signs up because it's really important. But he has like his own family, and it's just like he ends up having like a really bad anxiety attack on the ship and stuff, and it's just like, nah, I need to get back home.
Yeah.
And it was just a short story. That's all it was really about. But
still, yeah. That must be crazy, man. On your way to, and I'm sure there have been astronauts on their way who have like, nah, I can't, you know. And you're like, yo, we're already going, bro. Like, you better strap in.
It's too late, dog. Like, get the fuck in, you yuppie ass motherfucker.
You shut the dumb baby.
You dumb fucking baby.
Dumb baby.
Go to space, you dumb fucking baby.
My brother. We see stars right now. No, but then there's the two people who were stuck in space or whatever for like 8 months. That's you think they were low-key you think they smashed? You have to. Come on. You can't give up fucking in space. Come on.
Apparently it's really hard to fuck in space. So.
Really? Probably,
because like
right?
the physics and like your body and whatever, like just doesn't like your body doesn't react well to doing that.
Imagine fucking in a black hole.
What sounds would you hear?
It must be real hard to do that. Nah, I'm just not.
What sound would it make if you fucked the black hole though?
It'd be like ding 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 ding. Like the sound of that.
I was really want to see what you were gonna do with that.
Fucking dumb baby.
Fucking dumb baby.
I think that guy stole the show, man. He stole the show. That guy's so funny.
We're just shut up at this point. Let me just throw him up here again.
Fucking dumb baby.
I love that video so fucking much, bro. It just really makes sense. He really captured. He's the voice of a generation.
He's the voice of an icon of a generation.
Oh my god, man. But yeah,
you know that I would say that's a
good. We wrapped it up.
That's a good wrap right there. That's a if you want to go to space, fuck off.
Katy Perry, I'm proud of you, and all the other ladies who
fuck
don't
you,
know who
Katy
you are.
Perry. Fuck you.
Don't let him speak to you like that.
I'll send an email next time,
All right,
and I'll
cool.
ask you if it's okay to do that, Katy Perry.
Shout out to space. Oh,
Yeah. Fuck you, Katy Perry.
Fucking
Fuck you.
dumb baby.
Fucking dumb baby. Already been to space. You only went once and acting like you're the fucking queen. You dumb fucking baby.
Fucking dumb baby.
Follow us on the socials.
Follow us, please. Earth Might Matter Pod. Earth Might Matter Pod on TikTok and Instagram. Earth Might Matter on YouTube. Fucking dumb baby.
You fucking dumb baby.
It's so fun to say, dog.
No, but seriously though, thank you guys.
Thank you for listening. Thank you so much. Fucking dumb baby.